This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Would you like to review detailed content warning, which contains spoilers? Alternatively, in-game content warnings can be enabled in the settings menu at any time. No, I'm good. Let's just play the game. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you have noted the game's age rating in your region, and you consent to the exposure of highly disturbing content. What the hell is about to happen? What are we about to experience in this game? I agree, I guess. Looks too colorful and cute to be that bad. Wow, they are not playing with this warning. It is everywhere. Well, as you can tell, we are playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Jay Plays. Okay, so again, we're departing from our channel norm, mainly because I was looking for something new in our next game series, and I feel like, was the game we played, was it Senpai or something like that? That game was actually a lot of fun. I just had a lot of bugs with it, so I couldn't get through it. And this one happened to pop up on my screen, and I thought, why not jump into a game that seems similar in nature? Which, by the way, I have no idea what we're stepping into. Like, I didn't look up any videos for the game. I didn't look up anything, so I just kind of downloaded it because it looked artistically like the Senpai game. So we'll see what the hell we're stepping into. It must be great if they said disturbing for children under 18, psychologically anxiety-filled disturbing. Anyway, what do we know about Doki Doki Literature Club? Not much. Welcome to the club. Write poems for your crush and experience the terror of school romance in this critically acclaimed psychological horror study. Once you said psychological horror story, which admittedly was at the end, I was sold. Also, it's not Doki Doki Literature Club, it's Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I don't know what that means. I'm hoping that means whatever the game was before, it's plus that. Anyway, I want to thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of Jay Plays. Without further ado, let's jump into Doki Doki Literature Club. Okay, I was gonna go with Jay Plays, but for the purpose of this, let's just go with highlight, because we want to be the highlight of our crush's life. Oh, that's a line. I hope highlight uses that line. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together in days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. Strange way to treat your friends. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, highlight. You chose the right name. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Great, highlight, great. Great. Way to make us look like a great individual. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. Cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, highlight, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. In one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Fake friends, man. Fake friends make fake promises. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Not that I'm mad at his free time. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. 1 second. A NEET, young persons not engaged in education, employment, or training, expressed as the acronym NEET. Not engaged. Employment training. Okay. That's the first time I've heard of that. Interesting. I'm glad I was never called that in life. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Real question is, why are you friends with somebody you clearly do not enjoy being around? The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello, Sayori? Sayori must have come to the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, she's a good friend because she realizes he would have backed out. She was like, hell no, I'll be there waiting on you. You know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori? Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. It's gonna look good on her resume. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Is anime not a form of literature, though? Why do you care so much anyway? I guess he didn't say he didn't like literature, just less than she likes literature. Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. She backed herself in. Fake friends make fake promises. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yeah, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door and hello. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you.
Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
Too many voices.
Highlight. What a nice surprise.
Welcome to the club. All these voices suck. Oh man, all words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? Who's Monica? That's right. It's great to see you again. Highlight. Love our name. It's just, it fits so perfectly. You got Yuri, Natsuki, Sayori, Highlight. It's perfect. Monica. It's like right next to Monica. Monica smiles sweetly. Bent over like that, she's gonna have lower back problems. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, all basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Highlight. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As already mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki, I thought we were gonna have a choice between you want to sit by your best friend or you want to sit by your new crush. I was gonna choose the crush because, I mean, isn't that the whole point? Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh, Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. Oh, cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, Highlight follows. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full, and she has already managed to get icing on her face. I hate people who talk with their mouth full, so I'm guessing it's more of it's delicious. I don't understand why you can't chew that up, swallow that, maybe get a drink of water, clear that shit out, then say something. I can wait. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Start with the head, go for the whiskers. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good, he says with a mouth that's clear. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Who said that? Made them for you or anything? Who said? There's no name. Who said that? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you. You know, you dummy. All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? If I had known there were cupcakes, beautiful women, and tea in the literature club, I would have joined the literature club. Though I don't remember a literature club in school, gonna be honest. Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. The teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess, if it's anime. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori and bribed with cupcakes. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Subtly dissing their club. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs, or in life. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Or at least just guys, knowing that it's just like a whole full room of beautiful women according to Highlight. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. I mean, you say different, but I'm noticing some similarities. They're not that different if you just change up the hair type and the color. Got the same girl. I mean, even the outfits are the same. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Highlight, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Boruto. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Uh-oh. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? Spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. That happens, man. Sometimes you see how your words affect somebody and you're just like, yo, let me switch up and make them happy. But then again, you do that, now you gotta go down this false path, the path that you don't even want to go to, and you end up places that you don't want to be. Suddenly you're butt naked in the middle of a football field yelling, go team. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. She's a Game of Thrones fan, maybe even a Lord of the Rings fan. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Alright, this feels like a subtle dig at me now. I don't feel like we're even talking about what Yuri likes. Is the writer saying something to us? Is this a personal jab? I feel like my imagination's pretty high. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. That kind of girl. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. Love horror books. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Real horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? Pink hair, bonnet, that kind of stuff. You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. I'll give it to Highlight, man. He's pretty smooth. Like, he hasn't wavered, he hasn't stammered, he hasn't really stuttered. He's just been in here kind of vibing and having a good time, not aggressive, not awkward. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. It's not about you, Yuri. It's Natsuki's turn. We had your conversation. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I don't think she was ready. I think she was just making an example or an observation. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. So what's the point of this club? When do we start doing club-like stuff? Okay, I have an idea, everyone. I have an idea of what her idea is. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right? Highlight. Know it. Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I've bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. Something to do with eyes, I'm guessing, right? Nothing to do with the pout. The pout. I don't know what the hell that is. The frown. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Those don't look dejected. But I'm sorry, I thought. Highlight. You all. I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? The odds are stacked against them. That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone, truly I believe that I'm really surprised there's no other guys that stop by this club. Okay, everyone, I think with that, we can officially end today's meetings on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Highlight, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Don't be singling me out like that. Don't put me on blast. I'll be a terrible writer or reader. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel like, oh man, I'm struggling to read again. I already feel the anxiety swelling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Highlight. Since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? What is going on? Too many words, man. That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! I'm also wondering when the game aspect comes in. I don't know if this is just like a narrative game where we just keep clicking and read a story, or if I actually have to make choices. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. I'm hoping choices. I'm hoping the latter, because I'd like to play some game too. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? You know damn well it's not about spending time in a literature club. Don't play me. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Or a girl seems the best. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Do I get to at least write the poem? It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. Well, if our goal right now is to impress Yuri, the girl who likes horror books, which it is, because she seems the most interesting out of everybody, let's say, oh, she likes analysis, right? Like that's kind of her thing. She likes complex, fantastical stuff. So, but I don't want to go too nice because then you start talking to her. Analysis, maybe? Why is this so damn hard? You just gotta feel it, right? You just gotta let it go. Let's say, breathe. Let's say, ambient. Let's say we feel horror, but also, okay, parfait actually seems more like her. Incapable. Yes, but the essence of it is so, it's so crimson for like summer adventure that clearly is met with a sparkle. Maybe not sparkle, maybe that was the wrong word, but too late, I've already got it. Then we're gonna go to a lovely vitality met with destiny of a fantasy that clearly has journey, which I enjoy because of I don't know what the hell we're doing. I don't know what I'm picking right now. A vibrant Doki Doki Literature Poetry Slam. Effulgent. Yeah, just because the word is effulgent. Probably doesn't even fit what the hell we're writing, but I like effulgent. Treasure that's got a climax, because we all love a good climax, followed by a unrequited feeling of frightening existence. Wow, those last 3 words, there was something there. I'm not saying I'm a poetry master, I'm just saying that there was something there with those last 3 words. I again highlight. What's up, Monica? Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Highlight. What's up, Yuri? I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. I already told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the classroom. Ooh, a little shade going on there. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plopped back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Highlight always gives it his best as long as he's having fun, and I was having fun. He helps me with busy work without even me asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Keep talking, Sayori. Keep building us up, even if you don't mean to. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. That's so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? What's up, Mia? Why are we crying? It might be a little jealous. Wow, she just kind of comes right out and lets you know how she's feeling, huh? How come? You and Highlight can become good friends too. I don't think she wants to be friends, Sayori. I don't think this has anything to do with friends. And wait till you hear my poem. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. I don't think it's weird at all. He likes you, you like her, what's next? Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. I am curious though. It's interesting that we were writing the poem for Yuri, and now it feels like Yuri is showing the most interest in us. I don't know if that's how the game was always intended to go, or if the game realizes who we were trying to talk to, so they're pushing that character more forward. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that that's exactly what is happening. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. I already made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation, because I'm so amazing. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Did she say the word phew, or is there just the sound of like whew? And do you do that in front of a person after the moment? Do you just whew? Like, I'm glad that went well. Oh my God, whatever I intended to actually happen, gotta let you know verbally through sound. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. Poem time! But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from her reading. Unless she wants to talk to us, in that case, it's completely fine what we're about to do, right? I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Oh, so she went out and purposely found a book that she wanted to read, that she thought I would like to read, and then got that book twice that we could read together, sorta. Wow, we don't even get any choices in who we're gonna go talk to. The only choices I'm gonna get is a poem? Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon, probably maybe after I'm done with homework. I don't have homework, I'm lying. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. Oh Jesus, I'm not sure if that's what we wanted to read. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to just desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. Okay, you're spoiling the book. Maybe stop there. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Wait till you hear our poem, though. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Highlight? Give me the choice to say yes. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. Hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, their own philosophy that they believe in, right? Giving your antagonist background, giving them character, giving them an arc. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? No, I'm enjoying it. Please go on. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please don't stop. Please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Least I can do is listen. You're gonna be there for a long time. It is a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? Highlight is smooth, man. Highlight already knows all the moves. This is why his name is Highlight, because he's just the highlight of everyone's life. I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. You know, I don't think I ever picked my gender actually in this game. I could be a girl. This whole time I could be a girl, and it would still make complete sense, right? Because Sayori's still his best friend and her best friend. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Well, why don't we just push these desks together and we just read the same book together like that? Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up. Highlight already knows the move, man. Highlight, he's just got it figured out. I slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. I hope you're not a slow reader, though. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. What about the other girls? Are they looking in on this? Because I feel like there's at least 2 more girls that have a crush on this character, on Highlight. So, how are they feeling about this? It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. He's got hands. Here we go. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. It's almost like we're touching. She's touching the same spot that I touched. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. I told you, it's like they're touching because they're touching the same exact spot. All that sweat and oil coming off their fingers. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. All right, this is a hell of a psychological observation. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. So you think I second guess and I'm not sure of myself and I'm not confident. That's gonna help my confidence so much. Thanks, Doc. You remain silent for a moment. But highlight? That's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Too late, highlight. You already said the words. I thought you were smooth, man. Or her, whichever. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I meant more that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. She's like, no. Nope. I heard cute. Game over. Too much cuteness going on in the room. There's only one guy. Share him. Maybe. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. That's what I've been waiting for. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, buried from finishing her thought. Is that all right, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the... Shit, I skipped that. All right. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. All right. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Or get a receipt, or just tear some paper. You put it in there, you don't have to do the whole mental note thing. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Sure did. It's all I could do last night. Yeah. My relaxation ends. Can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I thought we were going to share with everybody. I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same, myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Hello, Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Magnificent. Got a certain je ne sais quoi. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Did we just hear her internal thoughts? You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Well, when they kind of throw the words at you and you just gotta select from a pre-selected list, it becomes a lot easier, I'm telling you. I could become rich off this. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny because she kind of expresses herself a lot when it comes to reading and writing. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? And there's that. Ooh, here we go. Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Right, because time marches steadily forward. And as it moves forward, the things that we took for granted, like streetlights, are beginning to disappear. So in that moment, she just wants to remember the good times before she has to move forward. Bad times. I'm with it, Yuri. I'm with it. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. I'm a slow reader. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. What is your normal poems like? I feel like they're a lot darker. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Huh? Who? What the fuck? What is that? Uh-huh. Actually, this story isn't about a ghost at all, Highlight. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so. Don't you hate that moment when you give somebody a compliment and they feel obliged to give you a compliment back? It's like, oh, dude, you did a really great job on that art piece. And they're like, oh no, you did a really great job on yours too. Seriously, I love yours a lot more than I love mine. Even though yours is, or mine in any case, looks like trash. Straight da-da-doo-doo. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Highlight. Me too. I would say that went really well for us. Who should we're showing our poem to everybody. Well then, that is something we will definitely have to do next time because we are officially out of time for this episode. Again, I want to thank you all so much for joining me for this game. I know it's completely different from any game that we played before. I don't even think it's close to, I thought it was Senpai-like, but it doesn't seem Senpai-like. It seems more narrative-based than I had originally intended, but thankfully, it seems fun, so we're going to stick with it for now. So again, thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of J Plays. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Deuces. What the hell? What is this? What is this? I know we're supposed to say goodbye, but I'm not sure what I just exited. What's going on here? This is like pop pictures. Like it looks like acquisition procedure. Write a poem for Yuri. Order of the school. What is this? Where are we at? Oh, we can set a wallpaper though. Oh, what's this? Acquisition procedure. Select the word horror during the poem game. Seems like a pretty cool photo to me. Why are they dressed? You know, I'm not even gonna. Achievement unlocked. Error. What is going on around here? This is not my desktop. Side stories. The side stories are stories of friendship that are unrelated to the events of the main game. To get all 6 side stories, try writing poems for different characters and viewing their special scenes in the DDLC. What? No. Oh, we got to do these. We got to unlock all of these. I am suddenly way more intrigued than I was in a sec. Oh. What? That song, I like the beat on this song, actually. It's kind of dope. I'm gonna stop it just in case, but I kind of like the beat on that song. It kind of goes a little hard. What else is there? No new mail. I know we're supposed to be saying goodbye. We were supposed to, but I mean, this just kind of popped up and it was like, what am I supposed to do? Ignore it? What is going on around here? Monica, unable to open Monica. Okay. I guess quit, right? Deuces.